Hem, 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 hem.
Yeah. Welcome to Butcher Block Horror Podcast, where we exhume horror movies from the past and cut into what makes them so delectable. I'm Kane.
I am Andre Toulon.
I'm Joe, but I don't want to do this.
And tonight, for fuck's sakes,
Fuck's sake.
another Charles Band-produced puppet extravaganza.
Extravaganza's a strong word.
With about 15 minutes of actual puppet screen time.
We timed it.
Yeah, it was not a smorgasbord of puppets.
But tonight we're covering Puppet Master 2.
I can put reverb on that, and you don't have to do that with your voice.
Okay.
You can put reverb on that. You have buttons.
I know, I could do it like right now.
Yeah.
Put reverb on your balls.
What? There you go.
If you enjoy the taste of these feasts of fright, check us out on your favorite podcasting app.
I didn't enjoy the taste of any of this.
Shh, Joe, I'm not talking to you right
Is
now.
that because Tunneler came for your butthole?
Be respectful, all right? We're talking to the people that pressed the play button, all right? So
It's true.
Give us a second, okay?
To two people.
Abandon all hope, ye who enter here.
What was I saying? Yeah. Leave us a follow on your favorite
Yeah,
podcasting
do
app.
that.
And if you want, give us a review. If you don't like it, you can still give us a review.
Yeah, just like these guys suck.
If you're not a YouTube person, you could also go to our YouTube, which is youtube.com/Brainworms Presents. Here you can like, follow, and subscribe and all that stuff and
Leave a
click
comment.
the bell. And
Yeah.
then Joe gets his little dopamine rush.
And
it's a
I
whole
get
thing.
my gumball.
Yeah, every time you click the like button, it dispenses a gumball into JD's mouth.
A gourmet gumball.
60% of the time, it works every single time.
You also have the option of going to wegiveYouBrainworms.com, where you can find our Patreon link and give us some money, or click on the
Which we
Discord
will spend
server.
all of on gumballs.
Gumballs, it's expensive.
Well, last episode, you said it was
Shh.
gumballs, and
Can
then
I-
you said later it was gumdrops. So I feel like there's a
Let's-
difference.
Let's move on here.
Okay.
But yeah, so you can click on the Discord link, which will invite yourself to the Brainworms Presents Funky Fresh Discord.
Yeah, somebody will probably be there and say hello to you.
Yeah. We actually had an awesome new member of the Discord, Dot Bleds, that turned me on to Mondo, and I actually acquired the Evil Dead Nightmare Reimagined soundtrack on vinyl.
Hell
That
yeah.
rules.
That's rad.
Super cool. All right.
Yep.
So let's talk about something not as cool.
Well,
Let's talk about Puppet Master 2,
I
JD.
don't want to talk about Puppet Master.
this is
2.
a great point of strain and debate.
I want to talk about marbles and pegs
Right. Exactly. Different shapes.
and
I get
Peggy
it.
Bundy.
Ooh.
And
Anyway,
that-
released
That
November
wooden peg game
17th.
at the Cracker
Hold on
Barrel.
one
I'm
second.
sorry.
Joe,
What?
do I need to move you to Chris's quiet room?
Do I still have to talk about Puppet Master 2 if you do that?
No matter what you do tonight, Joe, you have to talk about Puppet Master
damn it.
2.
No matter
And-
what.
You have to listen to my painful bits too. So it's just a whole thing that we got to go through together. It's a wild journey.
No matter who wins, we all lose.
Swallow the red
so
pill.
shut your cake eater and let JD go on with it, all right?
His pie taster.
Fine.
I'm a pie taster kind of guy. I'm not into cake.
You got a pie I'll taste.
Key lime
All right.
pie, if anyone's listening.
Stay on track, all right?
Key lime pie is delicious.
Joe, I see what you're doing, and I want it to stop right now. All right.
Let's sway this back into focus somehow.
We spent the 88 minutes watching
Captain
this goddamn
Kabuki's key
movie.
lime pie.
All right. We're gonna talk about it.
God damn
Yeah,
it.
it's true. Puppet Master 2 was released November 17th of 1990 in the UK and then February 7th of 90 in the good old United States of America.
It was very 90s.
It was.
Very, very 90s, yeah.
High-rise
With a
pants.
The underpants were 90s, yeah.
Of 88 minutes
About 88 minutes too long.
and a budget of $780,000. Now, you got to keep in mind, there was no box office return on this because it went straight to video.
Right.
Yeah.
Full Moon Production.
Full Moon Production is a money laundering scheme.
Filmed in California.
Look, we keep saying that, and if it is a money laundering scheme, they might come after us, Joe.
For legal purposes, that's a joke. We are a comedy podcast.
Self-proclaimed comedy podcast.
Yeah, self-proclaimed comedy.
Yeah.
So this Puppet Master 2, the second of the franchise, this goes on quite extensively. It is one hell of a franchise.
Yeah, how many Puppet Master movies are there? Like 12?
Well, I know 2 through 5 were all released directly to video.
Sure.
And then there's Demonic Toys versus Puppet Master, which
Yeah, they did the
doesn't actually exist
crossovers.
anymore.
Puppet Master 2 actually has a subtitle that I'd like to drop in.
Yeah, sure.
Puppet Master 2, His Unholy Creations.
All right.
Directed by none other than the late
William
great
Shatner.
David Allen, born October 22nd. His birthday's coming up. October 22nd of 1944. Allen left us August 16th of 99. Allen was best known for and revered for his stop-motion puppetry, basically. He was, one of the craft's finest stop-motion puppeteers.
Would have been awesome to see that showcased.
There were a couple of moments of stop motion, but I was so annoyed that I couldn't even stop to appreciate them.
Right. But yeah, David Allen, also a model animator, stop-motion puppet master, if you will. And he's right up there, shoulder to shoulder with legends like Ray Harryhausen and Jim Danforth. And actually, Allen and Danforth are quite good friends.
Well, they were.
Maybe they're good friends in the afterlife.
Yeah, exactly. Allen started his career in 1970, but he worked with Danforth on a film called The Crater Lake Monster in 1977, which was a very low-budget B horror film. Allen was responsible for bringing the Pillsbury Doughboy to life in a lot of the Pillsbury Doughboy commercials. That's kind of a juicy tidbit on David Allen.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a yeasty tidbit. Eh?
Nice.
Yes.
I'm just saying, if your dough is juicy, you probably should throw it out.
Not if you've put gravy all over it.
Yeah, you could have many reasons for juicy dough. Isn't that a dance move? No, that's do-si dough. Never mind.
Oh, the Girl Scout cookies? Those are good.
I was thinking of juicy dough and do-si dough and...
This is not a cooking podcast, all right?
Can we talk about like pies and...
Yeah, did he do any other horror movies, JD?
No one cares.
I'm gonna get there, but you guys have a wild hair in your dingus tonight because
you've interrupted yourself a couple times too.
That's
JD.
possible, but
entirely
no one's
put that
interrupted
on
me
us.
more than the two of you, so...
I won't argue against
Allen began his career in 1970, and then he directed Witch's Brew in 1980, The Hunger in 83, The Stuff. It's a fucking awesome
That's a
cult
great
classic.
movie.
Yep,
Love The Stuff.
1985. Ghoulies 2 in 88, Ghostbusters 2 in 89.
Ba-da-da-da-bow.
Puppet Masters 1 through 5. And he also directed Demonic Toys in 1992. He's part of that Full Moon Entertainment clique, and he gets used a lot along with, Richard Band Productions, or Charles Band, rather.
Soundtrack by Richard Band, always so much better than the movie that it's scoring. Except for From Beyond.
Writing and cinematography by weirdos that work on other Full Moon movies. No one cares.
Right. So, as I had mentioned, it's another Full Moon Entertainment production led by the cunning, imperious, majestic Charles Band.
I'm tired of watching Charles Band movies.
Did you say cunning or coming?
He's cunning.
Okay, I very clearly heard you say coming.
I think that's just what you wanted to hear.
That
He's a very
might be.
shrewd businessman. We will say that.
Yeah.
Sure.
Corners will be cut.
Yeah.
And also he ejaculates a great deal.
On to the plot of Puppet Master 2, reluctantly.
He ejaculates onto the plot of Puppet Master 2?
No, I am on to the plot of Puppet Master 2, and it's not with any sort of fluids.
Sorry,
Yeah.
Joe.
JD's got a load to say about Puppet Master 2.
I'm about to expel a giant lasso-like rope of load on the...
He's going to lead us to the climax of the film.
Okay. All
I
right,
most certainly will stroke
stop
you both
edging
toward...
me then. All right, let's do it.
Yeah. So,
So fucking dumb.
our tale begins behind the Bodega Bay Inn inside Shandy Oak Cemetery, where the grave of Andre Toulon is being excavated, tussled with a good bit.
All right, so Steve Wells played Toulon.
Okay, cool.
Would have been better if Steve Urkel had played Toulon.
Well, that's a whole nother character we have
I need you to pack
discuss
that
and-
energy away, Joe. Let's let JD talk for just a second.
Anyway, our old friend Pinhead gets into Toulon's tomb with a vial of what appears to be reanimator fluid, basically.
Sure.
Maybe not quite as neon, but
It's not glowing.
It had a similar viscosity, for sure.
yeah, the viscosity was there.
It also looked like rotten cream.
It did, yeah.
That's also accurate.
Or a Bailey's Irish cream.
We have our old friend Pinner dumping this neon ooze over the dehydrated corpse of Toulon. So, before an audience of some more old friends, Leech Woman, Blade, the Jester, and my personal favorite, Tunneler, the skeleton of old Toulon begins to rise up and animate, and we see some wiggly, skeleton
I'm gonna buy you a
fingers.
Tunneler toy.
Yep.
So fast forward several months later into the future, we have paranormal psychologist Carolyn Bramwell
It was played by Elizabeth McClellan.
and her broham Patrick.
Played by Greg Webb, but he was credited as Gregory.
Gregory, ooh, an aristocrat.
Oh, Gregory, fetch us some Chardonnay from the cellar.
Why are we picking on that poor guy?
I don't know.
Oh,
JD
it's-
started it.
Yeah. So anyway, they're paired with a pretty horny dude named Lance.
He
It
was
was played
down
by
to fuck.
Jeff Weston with the shortest shorts of any short shorts.
Who wears short shorts? He wears short shorts.
And a fish named Wanda.
Played by Charlie Spradling.
And actually, Wanda was not a fish at all. She was fully humanoid, but she was very horny also.
Yeah.
So this foursome, they travel to the hotel where the bizarre and eerie murder of Megan Gallagher took place.
If you've never seen Puppet Master 1, Megan Gallagher was the sole survivor, aside from, well, she stayed at the hotel. She had like a dog that was just stuffed.
Right.
There was a whole, just go listen to Puppet Master 2.
Yeah.
This movie kind of ignored the continuity of Puppet Master 1 as far
Did
as
it?
I could tell.
Which was what?
That's fair.
Damn. Wow.
Just saying. I mean, continuity and Puppet Master don't belong in the same sentence.
Yeah, Joe, now it's time for you to shut your mouth, apparently.
I mean, it wasn't a burn on me. It was a burn on Puppet Master 1.
No,
yeah.
That's correct. Yeah.
It was
It was
a burn
not
on you two.
geared toward Joe.
Well, I'm going to pretend it was geared towards Joe.
You're the only one who thought that, Kane.
Yeah, well, hopefully other people hear this and they think it too.
Yeah.
I quit. I can't work under these circumstances.
Fair enough. Anyway, poor Megan's brain was extracted through her nose,
Yeah.
via Blade, the puppet we've seen
Egyptian
very little of.
mummification.
Sure.
Yeah. And so we revisit another old character, Alex Whitaker.
Alex Whitaker.
Forrest Whitaker.
Yeah, and Alex was institutionalized. They kind of referenced that.
Yeah, they just talked about it, but I don't want
That's
to.
what revisit means, Kane.
Right, but you said revisit like they fucking focus the camera on him and they don't. They just briefly mention it, all right?
No, they just made reference to
Yeah,
the
they
character.
reference him, so
continuity.
it thought it was a thing. If I left it out, you would have shit all over me. So I figured, I better put it in there.
Yeah,
and have you
Kane's
shit
gonna
all over
ridicule
me.
you no matter what you do.
He ridiculed me by calling me a bum.
What?
That's a Wesley Willis quote.
Oh yeah,
Um,
Wesley Willis is very funny.
So anyway, yeah.
We
Anyway,
didn't
Alex
deserve
was
Wesley Willis.
institutionalized, driven batshit insane from the heinous events of Puppet Master 1.
And the visions.
The visions. Oh, the visions. Horrifying. Alex is also the main suspect in Megan's grisly murder. So we meet Camille Kenny.
Who was played by Nita Talbot.
That's correct. So she's also a psychic and a hotel guest who sees some of our puppety antagonists.
Mhm.
And she decides to get the fuck out of there.
Which is reasonable.
Yeah, she gets jumped and kidnapped, and adult napped rather,
And
by
kicked out of the movie.
Pinhead and Jester.
She did get kicked out of the movie.
Pinhead really puts in work. I have
Yeah,
to,
he
I
was
have to
Yeah.
Very
give
active.
props. Yeah, Pinhead is
Behind the scenes.
he's an
Off camera. he does a
integral
lot.
part. Yeah.
He does a lot of work off camera.
All of his work is in the name of evil. Pinhead,
Yeah.
above all, takes pride in his diabolical doings. And so anyway, Carolyn calls Michael, who is Camille's son, right? Did I get that correct?
I think
Yeah,
so.
that was played by Colin Burson.
Okay, excellent.
He had a whole lot of face on that head.
Yeah,
Yeah, he
a
really
lot of
did.
it.
Plenty.
Big beef McLarge, huge square jaw.
Definitely a himbo.
Yeah. Big himbo
So,
energy.
so they find her belongings at
Just
the
a big,
hotel, but no
Muscular
Camille.
golden retriever of a man.
Right. And so, yeah, later that night, Tunneler kills Patrick while sleeping by adding a brand new hole to his cranium.
Yeah, right to the forehead.
Yep. And Wanda and Lance run in to help. I mean, they hear this blood-curdling screech. So they run in, and they're a little too late. Patrick's a goner. So Lance totally smashes Tunneler with a lamp.
Which JD was personally offended by this.
Yeah, I didn't like that. I was against it. But he went and did it anyway, so
He did.
I guess my opinion doesn't matter.
Right.
Anyway, they proceed
the movie didn't give a shit what you thought.
to dissect Tunneler's lifeless remains
Poor guy.
in one of the first CAT scan or PET scan machines geared for diagnosing puppets with, I don't know.
Diagnosing puppets with...
It's like the easy bake oven of medical equipment.
Yeah, it just seemed like...
I would like to state
Where
the
did this
15
machine
minutes that
come
I
from?
timed. Right? The 15 minutes that I timed was any time a puppet was on screen.
Oh, so
Yeah.
it counted the dissected tunneler?
I counted the dissected
Oh,
tunneler.
no.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a lot of just still
There was a
puppet.
lot of that, yeah.
Look, I held fast to if there was a puppet on screen, I hit the button and started the clock.
That's fair.
So, in this observation of Tunneler's remains, there's no real explanation they're finding for his animation. They believe maybe it's like this chemical thing. However, the reason these puppets do evil and kill is fairly unknown to them.
But it was magic.
Magic.
Yeah, but it's weird because they were like paranormal investigators, but at no point were they like, maybe it's magic.
Right. They were looking for scientific evidence.
Yeah. Or like maybe he's possessed by a spirit.
Right. It's like they did it backwards.
Sure.
I don't know. So anyway,
Yep.
I'm going to butcher this dude's name, but he was basically pretending to be another character from Bucharest named Eric Chani.
Enrique Chanet.
Yeah, Eric
Sure.
Chani, who is not a new character at all. It's really just the reanimated corpse of Toulon.
The Reanimator.
And he looks like
Herbert
the
West?
Invisible Man meets Nosferatu meets
He did,
like
yeah.
Darkman meets like, I don't even know, like a horror pimp.
Yeah, like he did look like a goth pimp, but also his costume design did kind of feel like somebody in the art department kind of cobbled together things from other horror movies that they thought were cool.
Yeah.
They just kind of assembled those components into that character.
Yeah, it was an interesting get-up he had. So anyway, he shows up at the hotel claiming to have inherited the property upon Megan's demise.
Sounds legit.
And what I want to know is how could Toulon look them in the eyes like that?
He didn't have eyes.
Yeah, I know. That was part of my joke.
Magic.
Anyway, everyone kind of sees through his bullshit. He offers to hang around the hotel to help investigate
Yeah, they kind of just let him lurk around the hotel.
under very suspicious pretenses. He's
I feel like Short Shorts should have took that hammer right up his head. That's what I think. We'd have had a very different movie then.
It would have been a very short movie. It would have been an 18-minute movie.
But a really better
With
movie.
like
Right.
30 seconds of puppets.
Yeah. And like 10 minutes of Toulon getting his head smashed in by a man in very short shorts.
And then, so we also have Michael who
Who wears
shows up.
short shorts? Clunk. I wear short shorts. Clunk. Who wears short shorts? Clunk.
Settle down.
No.
You guys still interested in the plot?
Yeah.
No, I wasn't interested in it during the movie.
Right.
Come on, JD.
Yeah,
No,
let's
that's
get through
cool.
this.
So,
I'm sorry.
so
bro.
Michael
I apologize
shows
for my
up.
antics.
No, don't apologize. You're good. This is what we're here for. He shows up, and he's concerned over his mother's whereabouts. Blade and Leech Woman go do some murdering at the local farmhouse, and Leech Woman kills Matthew and removes one of his eyes.
As you do.
Very cool.
So that she could get to the pituitary gland?
They wanted the pineal fluid, I think.
Yeah, the pineal gland. Well, they
Oh,
just
is it the
needed
pineal?
brains. Well, they didn't.
I don't know.
I don't think they mentioned the pineal gland, but it would be congruent with some of the characters
Yeah.
behind the scenes.
I think this movie is set in the same universe as Reanimator.
I feel that is true. But the Leech Woman, she pays the ultimate price for her actions. In exchange for that eye, she gets tossed into the furnace by Martha.
Played by Sage Allen, and the guy that got his head chopped open was George Buck Flower.
Sure.
And buck flour is also a really healthy source of fiber.
Nice.
Not know that.
I just made that up.
Oh,
I'm full of shit.
I thought you were being for real.
No. She then attempts to do Blade shotgun style.
Nice.
And in Blade's greatest moment of need, a new puppet comes to his rescue, Torch.
Which I got to talk about this. So I remember thinking this was the coolest thing I'd ever seen.
Right. Were you like 8, 9, 10 years old when you saw it? Because that makes total sense.
And I thought that was the coolest damn thing that I had ever seen.
Is that before you had studied World War II in grade school?
And some of the aesthetic choices that they made.
Yeah, he had some horrid Nazi energy going on with that helmet, and it was a little alarming there and uncomfortable, I think. That
wasn't what I saw, all right?
Because you were 10.
Okay. Yeah, no, go ahead and relay what you saw.
Clear that up, because I saw a puppet that shot fire and it had bullets for teeth, all right?
And that
Which
rules.
That
does
ruled.
rule.
Yeah.
I just think that helmet with the spike on it and the patches that resembled an iron eagle was a little, I don't know.
Yeah.
Could have taken that in another direction.
Maybe.
But anyway, he shows up and toasts Martha's ass with his trusty flamethrower hand.
Yeah. I'm glad Kane doesn't have a flamethrower hand.
Yeah, right? We'd both be fucked.
Yeah, for real.
Blade scoops up a chunk of charred Martha and delivers it to Toulon. So Toulon starts going on about how he believes Carolyn to be the reincarnation of his beloved but deceased wife, Elsa.
Sure.
So anyway, we all join Toulon on his flashback to Cairo in the year of 1912.
Which is a weird diversion from the movie.
Yeah.
And it's black and white, all the color goes away for a little bit there, and we're on their Cairo Egyptian journey, and Elsa and he purchased the magical reanimating ooze.
And in case you were wondering, Elizabeth McClellan played Elsa Toulon as well.
Sure.
Yeah.
Because they didn't want to pay a second actor.
That makes sense.
They only had a budget of $780,000.
Where did that money go? What does Full Moon do with these giant budgets?
Shh. Hey, we
cocaine.
talked about this. All right? We talked about this. Let's just not. No.
Cocaine, whiskey, hookers.
None of our business.
They do what they do. None of our fucking business.
Because I've seen way cheaper horror movies that look so much better.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
So the next day, Michael and Carolyn go into town to find Camille and research more about who is actually Toulon. Mm-hmm. Anyway, meanwhile, the puppets whip up a shitstorm of murderous antics in order to gain the secret ingredient to the reanimator fluid, which is brains. Brains happen to make...
A shitstorm of murderous antics needs to be in the episode description.
Sure. Brains makes their world go round. It's like the biggest deal ever. And it's the very reason Megan's brain was taken to reanimate Toulon in the beginning of the film. It kind of it all comes around full circle. Carolyn's sleuth work, her dick work as a detective.
A link between worlds.
She goes and discovers a link between the disappearance of Camille and the death of Patrick. And so then somehow everyone gets super horny. We are bombarded with some sex scenes.
Awkward 90s slow sex.
Very awkward.
Music that I guess was sexy at the time.
Yeah. Like some Kenny G or some shit like that. Like
it was just Careless Whispers, just the saxophone line over and over and over.
Just on a loop.
Yeah. So Carolyn do. All right. So
I'm never gonna dance again.
Wait, is that Wham or George Michael, or what is that?
George Michael, I believe.
Okay, because he's cool. But anyway, you just stir my fucking brain so hard when I'm trying to read my fucking plot, and you just
do it.
Saying nonsense.
I'm sorry, JD.
All right, so Carolyn and Michael, they get on the good foot and do the bad thing. They're banging about something, and so does Lance and Wanda. So the cocks are out of the barn. What? Wanda wanders off, and Lance gets
I would like it to be clear that Wanda didn't just wander off. Wanda told Lance, "I'm not cuddling with you. I got what I wanted."
Yeah, that was a one and done. She didn't want to make a thing out of it. Good for her.
Yeah,
she got that Sir Lancelot And so anyway, Blade's thirst for death was not quenched by Lance alone. He goes after Wanda because he's still, enticed by murder. And so Blade is able to concoct a new batch of reanimator fluid with their brain matter. Meanwhile, Carolyn sneaks into Toulon's room, finding two mannequins. Very creepy, ugly-ass looking mannequins.
The mannequins were actually Michael Todd and Julianne Mazziotti.
Okay. They looked gross.
Yeah, so Toulon sees her, and he's still believes that she's Elsa somehow, and so he ties her up. Michael hears her screaming.
From all the way at the top floor.
Yeah.
She's screaming her fucking ass off, and so he attempts to rescue her, but is engaged in battle with a gang of murderous puppets.
Who are not fighting back.
They're not.
It's 3-on-1 action. Michael is still attempting to get to Carolyn, but what is that thing? It was like kind of like a little freight elevator, the little door thing that opens up. The dumbwaiter. Okay, that opens, and he finds Jester along with his dead mom.
Which, shocker, that's even if he gets out of that alive, he's definitely going into some therapy for that.
Right. Absolute therapy forever. So now we cut to Toulon transferring his soul into a mannequin.
Which is the scene where we discover that Toulon doesn't have any eyes.
Yeah.
Which raises questions.
They were just gooey holes.
It doesn't, though, because Blade doesn't have eyes either.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
Well, Blade has if you look closely into the sockets in some of the scenes, you could see that he has little spikes in those cavernous divots.
Oh, yeah, don't they pop out in other movies? The little spikes in Blade's eyes?
Yeah, so it's the magic. The magic makes them see. It's magic vision.
Yeah, they have evil foresight. What? So anyway, he finds the puppet Jester and his dead mom, and so now cut to Toulon transferring his soul into the mannequin. He's dying to spend eternity with Carolyn. The puppets realize, though, that they got played by Toulon, and they're all like, how the fuck are you going to do us like that?
I want to ask.
Yeah, I have a lot of confusion.
In a nonverbal way, I believe that they do. They all sort of think that he's a dickbag, and that's why they end up betraying him.
Right.
But why?
Well, I mean, he was in the first Puppet Master, I think. I don't remember a lot of it because it's a very forgettable movie. He was using the puppets to fight the Nazis.
Yeah.
But he's supposed to be their caretaker, not necessarily manipulating them into doing evil shit.
I guess.
I mean, they don't need a huge push to murder.
They love to murder.
They do seem to love it. Yeah, they do.
So, I mean, that's the thing is what did Toulon do? Was it because he wanted the other body for Carolyn?
Maybe.
And the puppets wanted Camille? I don't know.
Yeah,
whatever.
The movie didn't explain itself
keep
well.
Going.
Or it did, and I just disassociated.
You just hated it so much that you didn't follow.
I mean, I have attention span problems anyway, so it's hard to tell.
No, I understand. So anyway, they all gang up on Toulon, though. They end up betraying him.
Pop him like a balloon.
Yeah, they begin to torment and torture him a bit. And Michael saves his new love interest, Carolyn. He totally rescues her, and the two escape from the hotel. And our new friend Torch, he deep fries Toulon pretty hardcore. Barbecue Toulon, anyone?
Gross.
Anyway, he falls out a window and dies. No, listen, more people have plummeted to their death in season 4 of the Butcher Block Horror Podcast than any other podcast in history.
Wild if true.
I feel like almost once a week now, someone's had their, something horrible happen and then fallen out of a window.
Sure.
Yeah.
Nary a Wilhelm scream.
Right.
Which is a waste of our time.
Right.
But I think, honestly, though, death by window is outweighing our gooey puppet theme.
Yeah, these puppets were very dry.
They were definitely not gooey. We didn't even get any good leech action from the leech woman.
The leech woman is one of my favorite Puppet Master puppets.
She is very cool. Yeah. She's very cool.
It's a really cool
design.
She
didn't do any leeching.
No.
At all.
The most gooey bits of this film were Toulon's eye sockets, but I guess we can save that for a special effects conversation.
Sure.
Yeah.
So anyway, cut to Jester returning to Camille's dead body with the remaining reanimator formula. Her soul is transferred to the female mannequin body, And then the weirdest ending ever, really.
Yeah,
I think.
why?
Yeah.
Sequel bait, I guess. They knew they were going to make more.
Right.
I don't know if Puppet Master 3 follows up on that or not. I don't remember.
So she totes the remaining puppets over to Boldestan's Institution for Mentally Troubled Tots and Teens, so they may enchant the youngsters living there.
Which is ominous. I
guess.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a very it's leading. They're just trying to set this thing up for Puppet Master 3, and
Yeah, and then the credits rolled.
Yep.
yeah, it's kind of an open door there, and that's the way they left it. It's not explaining a lot, but neither did most of the film. So
Yeah.
Well, we might as well go ahead and talk about special effects.
Yeah, let's do
For
it.
all 15 minutes of puppet action.
yeah, so
Mm-hmm.
back on the conversation once again, we've got Mark Rappaport. He's got 97 special effects credits.
All of them Charles Band Productions.
A hell of a lot of them for sure. But I mean, really, his career has soared everywhere. I mean, he's got really big time movies. I mean, he's done a little bit of everything. Randall William Cook was a puppet animator. Yancey Calzada was the lead puppet crew person, just kind of in charge of, I don't know what exactly, because we didn't see enough puppets for me to really
No.
be able to identify what their activity level was.
Yeah,
but-
there really weren't any special. I mean, I guess there were, but I don't know.
I mean, the actors engaging the puppets did most of the
Shaking
work.
them around. Yeah.
Yeah.
It really feels like, looking at the list of credits, that more work went into making the movie than actually came out of the movie.
Yeah. And I will say this, even though I bashed Torch's costume, the puppet costumes were pretty phenomenal.
Mhm.
And they were performed by Joanne Bloomfield and Lynette Elkland. They were two of the important artists who created the puppet costumes. And, after that, I really I don't know. It's not, there was but a mere spritz of fake blood. Very, very little.
Yeah, it's a pretty small amount.
Having a hole drilled in the center of your forehead would yield copious amounts of blood. And it was not even a spatter, nothing. I mean, just a little bit on Tunneler's drill before he was smashed. But what we did see was a hell of a lot of gooey, viscous, Reanimator-esque looking fluid.
Yeah, like pea
And
soup.
it was like, a pale green. It wasn't the neon green. I know I will stand corrected on calling it the Reanimator fluid, but it definitely had some resemblance, but not enough, probably. More resemblance to like Linda Blair's vomit in The Exorcist,
Sure,
something
yeah.
more like that. Minus
Yeah,
the
yeah.
chunks,
No,
minus
yeah.
the chunks. Other than that, I mean, I know that there was a lot of animation and stop motion animation and some puppeteering, but also just a lot of manipulation from the actors. And I don't know what to talk about as far as special effects go with
Right.
this.
I think you said it all, man.
Yeah, there's just not enough to talk about. So yeah, I mean, I suppose we can move on to our impressions of the film.
If we have
Yeah,
to.
Joe, why don't you tell us your personal experience with the film and all that stuff,
All that hot jazz.
with as few expletives as you can manage. Let's see how this goes.
You can't make me do that. I've seen most of the Puppet Master movies at one point or another. And I always have this memory of them
Yep.
as being like so bad it's
Rad.
good, just wacky horror movies with these fun puppets doing murder in them.
Mm-hmm.
And then I watch them, or we watch them for this, and it's 90 minutes of movie with 15 minutes of puppet. Not really doing much. Like, they're cool props, the puppets. Like, they're neat to look at. Even the
They
kind
are,
of Nazi looking ones are very well designed, but they do very little. And then there's just an hour and 15 minutes of the guy who played Talon wrapped up like the Invisible Man chewing the scenery,
Yeah.
and the weird romantic drama between whoever the protagonists are. You know, the psychics from the first one or the paranormal investigators from this one. Just kind of having Beverly Hills 90210 kind of energy at each other.
And the short shorts.
In the short shorts, yeah. Who wears short shorts? He wears short shorts.
And don't forget the denim.
Yeah, denim pants, denim shirt, no denim jacket, which was a dropped ball in my opinion.
All high-waisted.
Yeah. kind of MC Hammer style, like harem pants.
Uh-oh.
You can't touch this.
But yeah, the Puppet Master movies are never as fun as I remember them being when they were on like the Sci-Fi Channel around Halloween time. They just never are. And I'm always bored.
They do tend to climb in their releases. The special effects do get better from my recollection, and they add new puppets. There are new characters as the installments, you know.
Yeah, I know the Gunslinger one shows up later on. That guy's pretty cool.
He's very cool.
You think he's pretty cool, but you just when we watch the next one, because we're gonna do it.
Yeah.
When we don't learn from our mistakes, so we're going to do it.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what else to say.
You don't have to say anything else.
Like I said, I've seen most of them at one point or another over the years. And I always have this memory of them being like fun, stupid horror movies. And they never are when I watch them as an adult.
Trickery.
Yep.
Yeah, this one was a little busted.
Meh. I don't know.
Got anything else to say, Joe?
Butts.
All right, JD. What's your personal experience with the film?
My again, I could say that my initial experience as a youth seeing this film was a lot more of a positive experience than seeing it now as an adult. I guess my level of gruesomeness, my expectation has grown just exponentially. I expect so much more out of a horror film than what Puppet Master 2.
Yeah, you love the strawberry jam.
I do. any gooey substance I'm really all for. That's what I'm here for.
Right.
So when a film is basically devoid of that, it sort of it pops my balloon. And not to say that I still did appreciate that this film was made. I would like to know where the budget actually went.
I would love to know.
I don't think that we need to talk about this. Like
none of our business.
I've said it before. I'll say it again. None of our business.
Right.
Carry on.
Right. So
it went up someone's nose.
Yeah. It went somewhere to some. Yeah. It might be in several noses. But anyway.
It may have gone to cleanse a certain, type of.
Yeah. It may have gone to rearrange some financial documents, is what you're saying.
Exactly.
Put them in order.
Yeah.
And so to conclude my impression of this film, I'm going to just go ahead and talk about the opening scene of the movie. That was my favorite scene. Them reanimating Toulon and them, all circled around his grave and pouring the reanimator fluid or whatever we're going to call it over him. And it just made that cool, like, little sizzling sound. And there was a little, dry ice, some smoke was released. And then you see these gnarly little skeleton hands kind of reach up. And then after that, I think everything was a bit downhill.
Yeah,
so I think that's a sad route to take, because I remember as a kid thinking, "Oh man, this is only the sky's the limit." After that scene, this one's going to be better than the first one. And then but I really can't say that that's true. I can't say that Puppet Master 2 is better than Puppet Master 1. So now I'm wondering, my wheels are turning. I'm starting to kind of like climb through my memory for, is there a crescendo from release to release?
Sure.
Like, that's what I'm waiting for. So I am now curious to see Puppet Master 3 again.
Which just kind of feels like punishment, doesn't it?
There's something about it.
Because we get our hopes up. I was excited, and then they did it to us again.
And I promise to our listeners that we actually do enjoy horror films. The three of us are legitimate horror fans. I feel like we're all a part of the community, but I have to say, when a movie doesn't speak to me, and this movie did not speak to me.
Right.
Yeah. I'll say the same thing I said last time we watched a Full Moon movie. Get a 30-day free trial of Full Moon Presents or whatever the fuck. Watch Full Moon movies until you get bored of them, then just cancel that free trial, and that's all you need.
Yep.
Yeah, and maybe some popcorn.
Maybe.
So, Kane.
Yeah.
Share your impression of this film with us.
Many decades ago, this movie was rad.
Many full moons ago?
And I was super stoked about it. Yes,
many
full moons ago. I think part of it might be that we have watched superior puppet movies.
Yeah, we have.
Dolls was so much better.
That's what I'm saying, though, is that
you wouldn't think that it would be.
We've come to expect a certain amount of puppety involvement.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Don't judge a puppet movie by its name.
Exactly. And there just really wasn't a lot of puppets. The story was, honestly, I don't care about the story. Let's just be straight out and clear about this. I don't really give a crap about the Puppet Master storyline.
Sure.
Right?
I mean, I kind of do. Like, I at least want it to be good.
Well, no, I'm just saying, lead me with the story to the place where I get to see puppet mayhem.
Right.
That's what I want.
Gory puppet mayhem.
Yes, like the kill scenes in Dolls absolutely devastate the kills in this movie.
Oh, yeah.
And it was, it was just like the stop motion. Like they had the top stop motion animator and they barely made use of him.
Right.
We barely saw any stop motion. Do I hate Puppet Master 2? I don't hate it. There are redeeming qualities to it. I like.
I hate it a little bit.
You're allowed. But I loved the makeup on Toulon at the end where his eyes are rotted out. I loved his death where the rest of the, like after he actually died.
Right.
Like when he cut his throat and transferred his essence, his body went back to just being a rotten skeleton.
And that shriveled nicely.
It did. That was pretty fun.
Yeah, there was some good stop motion here and there.
The large puppets, Puppet Toulon was really unsettling to look at.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely some Uncanny Valley happening there.
Yeah, those were creepy.
Yeah, those mannequins were. Ugh.
But no creepier than the I Feel Fantastic YouTube video.
But
I love
regardless,
that video.
I know you do, and any chance you can talk about it, you'll take it. But this isn't a great movie. If you want to take a trip down memory lane, just remember the days.
Yeah.
You don't necessarily need to go back and watch this one.
Or at least maybe get kind of high, and that might make it
there
more
were
fun
better
for
ways
you.
to break into the 90s than Puppet Master 2.
Yeah.
There are. I think
Knock
that's
on a
pretty much
different
it.
door.
I don't hate this movie. I would probably watch it again if someone asked me to. If someone was like, hey, can we watch Puppet Master 2? I would be like, okay, that's fine.
Hey, Ken, you want to watch Puppet Master 2?
Not tonight.
Yeah,
but if you ask me again in a few days, I would agree to it.
Sure.
But I don't have anything else to say. Does anybody else have anything to say?
No.
No, I'd
I'm
say
done.
the well is dry over here.
All right. Well, if you watched Puppet...
Wait. What are we watching next week?
Hold on.
Oh,
Let me get through this first.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
I just didn't want you to forget.
Can I do the thing?
I just didn't want you to forget.
Do the damn thing.
Can I do the Van Damme thing? No?
Now I'm embarrassed.
Well, if you watched Puppet Master 2, let us know what you think.
Yeah.
You can find us at wegiveyoubranworms.com. And if you'd love to be a peach, you can check out our YouTube channel, which is just Brainworms Presents. Next week, we're going to be watching Hobgoblins, which I'll straight up say I have never seen this movie.
I have it on DVD.
I've never seen it. It's one of the ones I haven't seen. So make sure you watch that because we're going to spoil the shit out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Also, we warn you against forgetting to like and subscribe on YouTube.
Yeah, because murderous puppets will find you and they will bleed you dry.
I'm just trying to get JD his gumball.
Yeah.
Thanks, Kane.
You're welcome, buddy. Oh, and make sure if you're at the YouTube and you've subscribed, you just click the bell.
Click the bell. Yeah, sorry, I was kind of zoning out.
No, you're allowed. You're allowed. Every now and then, you're allowed to drop the ball, and I'll pick it up for
I
you.
appreciate it. I'm not sure if you're being condescending or not.
We'll see everyone later.
Yeah.
Have a good one.
Thanks for listening.
Au revoir. I'm a pie taster kind of guy. I'm not into cake.